Let me start with something most people over 60 do not realize. The small, twisted root sitting in your kitchen, the one you maybe use once a year in a recipe, has been studied in over 100 clinical trials in humans. Real research, real numbers. And what scientists have found about ginger after 60 is genuinely impressive. This is not folk wisdom. This is not internet hype. Modern medicine has confirmed what traditional healers knew for thousands of years. Ginger does measurable, meaningful things inside your body. And for people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, several of those effects can quietly transform how you feel. Today, I am going to walk you through 7 of the most powerful things ginger does inside your body, each one backed by real clinical evidence. I will tell you how much to use, what form works best, and one critical thing at the end about who should be careful with it. Stay with me, because the 7th one surprises almost everyone. Before we get to the list, here is something most people do not understand about how ginger actually works. The healing power of ginger comes from a family of natural compounds called gingerols and shogols, the substances that give ginger its sharp warmth and bite. These compounds act inside your body like tiny anti-inflammatory messengers, calming the overactive immune signals that drive much of the slow damage we associate with aging. Think of inflammation as a low-grade fire smoldering in your tissues year after year, and gingerols as one of the most studied natural compounds that quiet that fire. Now, the 7 things ginger does. 1. Reduces chronic inflammation throughout your body. This is the foundation of nearly every other benefit on this list. A systematic review and meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials published in peer-reviewed literature found that ginger supplementation significantly reduces key inflammation markers in the body, including C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. In plain language, those are the chemical signals your body produces during chronic inflammation, the kind that quietly drives heart disease, arthritis, cognitive decline, and many of the conditions people fear most after 60. Reducing them is not a small thing. It is foundational. How to use it? 1 to 3 grams of ginger daily, in food, tea, or as a supplement, has been the typical effective dose in studies. 2. Eases joint pain from osteoarthritis. If you have aching knees, hips, or hands, this one matters. A meta-analysis of randomized, placebo-controlled trials, specifically in osteoarthritis patients, found that oral ginger produced a statistically significant reduction in pain and disability compared to placebo. Another randomized, controlled trial involving 120 older patients with knee osteoarthritis found that 500 milligrams of ginger powder taken daily for 3 months significantly reduced inflammatory markers in their blood compared to the placebo group. This is not a replacement for medical treatment, but it is one of the few natural compounds with consistent clinical trial evidence for joint pain. If your doctor approves, it can be a meaningful addition to whatever else you are doing. 3. Lowers blood sugar and improves insulin sensitivity. If you have type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, which affects a huge percentage of adults over 60, ginger has real research behind it. A systematic review and meta-analysis of 8 randomized trials in patients with type 2 diabetes found that ginger supplementation significantly lowered fasting blood sugar and improved long-term blood sugar control, measured by something called HbA1c, which reflects average blood sugar over the previous 3 months. Doses in these studies typically ranged from 1.5 to 4 grams of ginger powder daily. And, this is important, if you are on diabetes medication, talk to your doctor before adding ginger, because the combined effect could push your blood sugar lower than intended. Before we continue with the next 4, let me say one quick thing. If you are finding this useful, the best way you can support this channel is simply to hit that like button and subscribe. I read every single comment, and knowing this information is actually helping people is what motivates me to dig into the research and make these videos for you. And once or twice a month, I break down the very latest research on a single food, supplement, or habit, what it really does to your body, the genuine benefits, and the honest risks. So if that is the kind of straight, honest health information you want, make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Now, back to ginger. 4. Improves heart health markers. Several meta-analyses have found that ginger supplementation modestly but measurably improves multiple cardiovascular risk markers. Across studies, ginger has been shown to slightly lower total cholesterol, lower triglycerides, lower LDL, sometimes called bad cholesterol, and slightly raise HDL, the protective kind. Some analyses also reported small reductions in blood pressure. The effects are modest, not dramatic. Ginger is not a replacement for blood pressure medication or statins. But added to a heart-healthy diet, it is one more tool that supports your cardiovascular system gently in the background. After 60, when small advantages compound over years, gentle background tools matter. 5. Soothes your digestive system. This is the use case with the longest history and the strongest evidence. Ginger is one of the most well-studied natural remedies for nausea, including chemotherapy, induced nausea, motion sickness, and the morning queasiness that some older adults experience with medications. It also helps speed up gastric emptying, which means food moves through your stomach more efficiently. For people who experience bloating, indigestion, or a feeling of heaviness after meals, common after 60 as digestion naturally slows, a small piece of fresh ginger or a cup of ginger tea before or after eating can make a noticeable difference. How to use it: 1 teaspoon of grated fresh ginger steeped in hot water for 10 minutes, taken before or after meals. 6. Provides powerful antioxidant protection. Ginger contains over 40 different antioxidant compounds. Antioxidants are molecules that neutralize free radicals, unstable particles produced as a byproduct of normal metabolism that over time damage your cells. Think of free radicals like rust slowly forming on metal, and antioxidants like the protective coating that prevents that rust. Clinical trials have confirmed that regular ginger intake measurably increases the activity of your body's own antioxidant defense systems and lowers markers of oxidative stress. After 60, when your natural antioxidant production declines, getting extra antioxidant support from food matters more than it did at 30 or 40. 7. Supports brain health and cognitive function. This is the one that surprises people. Emerging research on gingerols and shogols suggests these compounds may help protect brain cells from inflammation and oxidative stress. The 2 key processes scientists believe drive much of age-related cognitive decline. While we do not yet have large-scale long-term trials proving ginger prevents dementia, the foundational mechanisms are there, and animal and early human studies are promising. Given that ginger is safe, affordable, and has so many other proven benefits, it is one of the easier additions to make for general brain support. Now, before you rush to load up on ginger, Let me give you the honest warnings. There are real situations where you should be careful or talk to your doctor first. If you are on blood-thinning medications like warfarin, clopidogrel, or even daily aspirin, ginger can mildly enhance their blood-thinning effect and increase bruising or bleeding risk at higher doses. If you are on diabetes medication, ginger may lower your blood sugar further than expected. If you have gallstones, ginger can stimulate bile flow and may make things worse. And if you are scheduled for surgery, most doctors recommend stopping ginger about 1 to 2 weeks beforehand. For everyone else, here is your practical takeaway. 1 to 3 grams of ginger daily is the dose backed by most clinical research. That is roughly 1 teaspoon of fresh grated ginger, or a half to 1 teaspoon of dried ginger powder. Fresh ginger in tea, in cooking, in juice, in salads, all work. Consistency matters more than dose. The benefits build over weeks of regular use, not days. If this video was useful, please tap the like button. It helps this channel reach more people who deserve this information. And drop a comment below. How do you use ginger in your daily routine? Tea, food, supplement, or none yet? I read every single one. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult your doctor before adding any new food or supplement to your routine, especially if you take medication, have existing health conditions, or are scheduled for surgery.